Yeah, hello and welcome to an updated video about Polygon MATIC. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Polygon MATIC chart. And yeah, this is basically here the chart history since we started to cover it somewhere here at around 120, I think, back in October, or maybe even already in September. And so far, you know, the price back then was really late with its correction, or Polygon MATIC in general, really late with the correction where Bitcoin was already going down. You know, throughout December, Polygon was doing really well. Pretty much in line with the likes of Harmony One, Phantom, and Cosmos. Cryptos that are very late in this correction. There's a group of them and they all behave in a similar way. Polygon here at the moment, also then, you know, after we moved up here, target areas were reached back then. That broke this ascending trend line. And we talked about it here then, that there is a risk that if Polygon doesn't go to a new all-time high from here, that we're then gonna go and break out, because break through to the downside, because what this then eventually was, and probably was still my primary expectation here, that all of this here basically was just an A, B, C correction in a most simple way, you know, well, it's a bit more complex than that, but that all of this was just a huge ABC correction. What confirms that, in my view, is that this wave B only did very slightly go above the previous all-time high. So basically a slightly overshooting wave B, where you would then expect in the next C wave here, the price to go below that wave A. And that would be the target area that would actually be sitting between 30 cents and 60 cents, okay? How likely is that? You know, it remains to be seen if we're actually going to get there, but we talked about these levels are getting very realistic if the $1 level gets broken. They get more realistic if 145 break. Now that didn't really break yet. We did go under slightly, yeah. So 145 is an extremely important level, but it did hold. It did hold in the end. And if we break the dollar level, then I think we're gonna certainly get to this area here between 60 and 30 cents. Now, so far we haven't come close to the dollar level yet. Not since September, and when we were here in this temporary uptrend, primarily because of the structure here, yeah, and this potential ABC and the way how the price is coming up here in the kind of structure it's doing. I am primarily still expecting this wave C to play out. Yeah, I do expect another move down, but there is an alternative scenario, and we talked about this already in the last video. That could just see this here all as a diagonal pattern. So based on the Elliott Wave method, you get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up here, and then you start your ABC. Then basically A, overshooting wave B, and wave C to the downside. That would mean the correction could be complete. Okay, now that would mean the correction could be complete. I don't like the structure that it's doing, but it's certainly possible. We cannot yet see a clear 5-wave structure here. It's not yet 5 waves, but if there is one, another leg up, yeah, we could possibly count that as a 5-wave structure in the scenario that the bulls here really get a chance and the low is already in, which could be the case, yeah. Then I would still expect another move down. So let's say maybe this was, I mean, you can interpret 5 waves. No, you actually, it would be very difficult. Yeah, you can interpret 5 waves into this, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. And if we call this here a 5-wave structure, and if we say, right, maybe the bulls were strong enough and the low is already in, then we could count all of this here possibly as a wave 1, where we came up all the way up to $2.10. I would then expect another price drop into the region here of 160, a little bit lower maybe. So I'm going to give you a target level now. That target level, though, is only to be seen as relevant really in this scenario that we could be bullish here and that we have already developed the first 5-wave structure to the upside. Okay, now that area would sit here in this region between 161 and 140. I'd give that the target, yeah, for the next wave down here, and we already started the wave down, it seems. That would get us into the area of 161 and to 140 between the 0.618 fib level, which is the most important one, and the 0.887 fib level. This is basically based on the assumption it's a bit too early to say that really, but that this here was already then a new wave 1. You're going to come down here in a wave 2, could land somewhere in here, yeah, in this area, and then you do your wave 3, 4, 5, and you get out of this. You know, you get out of this, and when we see a first significant 5-wave move up, I mean, then probably the low was already in. The trouble is you never really know until you really see the wave 2 at least. You know, you want to see the wave 2 complete, because then you know, or you don't know, you never know, but you can say with a certain certainty that, yeah, you know, we've made a higher low here, and probably that low, that was it. Yeah, we can go up from here. So at the moment, I'm a bit skeptical about that. I would give it only maybe a 30% chance that we actually are here in this bullish scenario. I remain sort of bearish, but of course, you know, we need to see how the price is going to develop, and I'm gonna react to it depending on how we are gonna land in this area here. If we go right through, because this is the alternative, that you go and build lower lows here, break below here the 130 level. That would be a significant one now. 130, that is the previous low that we had in here. If you break below that now, I mean, then I think that trend is definitely broken anyway. So let's see how that's going to develop. As I said, primarily I would still expect us to get into this area down here. Again, it doesn't need to be in a straight line. What we've seen here could all be part of that downtrend, yeah? A more significant counter move based on the price of MATIC just being oversold, yeah? So you typically see that. So it's very interesting. At the moment, Polygon MATIC is really fighting here between these two moving averages. You can see here the yellow line, which is the 200-day moving average, and the orange one, which is the 50-day moving average. And the question is, you know, what's going to win? What's going to win? Is the 50-day moving average? Can the price push through here, or does the 200-day moving average basically lose out, and does the price break through to the downside? If that continues like that, I think we're going to see here probably at some point a death cross. I don't put too much emphasis in it, to be honest, and the death cross basically means a longer term, it can indicate a longer term trend direction change, where if you see a death cross and the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200, then you can, you know, some people say that indicates that we are now going to see a bearish momentum for the next few weeks. And yeah, it can take place, but that is an extremely lagging indicator. But it's, you know, it's something that many people look at. But I don't necessarily see it happening. They're still fairly far away, and it depends on what the price is doing now. You're probably not going to see it if we move up from here, but you are going to see it if the price really gets into this immediate target area now, and stays then, and possibly then drops below 130, which I would actually expect. We need to see how the price is going to react in this target area. That is key. That is key. The low here was in for now, I think, and before we go up further, I would expect here a further move into this area. Yeah, that's personally my expectation here. Also, the indicators would confirm that, especially the 8-hour MACD, we can see that we're turning bearish, had a bearish cross here, so you might see here for the next few days a bit of bearish momentum. The 4-hour chart shows as well bearish momentum, and we are also here in the bearish range on the RSI. On the daily, you can see that the price is, or the RSI is just trying to cross here into the bearish range on the RSI. And also on the MACD, we can see that the bearish or the bullish momentum is decreasing again. So you might have, as I said, just a few more days of a possible correction here. And even here on the, you can see it on the 4-day MACD, it was starting to turn around here. Now it's going down a little bit more. So that is going to be interesting. But typically when you see this potential reversal coming, that looked extremely good, but now it's dropping again. So it normally doesn't really do that if you have a reversal in. And also on the weekly, it's pointing further to the downside. Yeah, personally, I don't think the low was in already. But the scenario is there. I would only give it a 30%, the bullish scenario, and I would give it a 70% to get into this lower range down there. But either way, even in the bullish scenario, I expect a further correction where the price has to breathe out a little bit more, right, before it can go up further. So hopefully you liked the update about Polygon MATIC. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And again, if you really like the content, then please consider to join as a channel member. You can find the links to do that in the video description, and then you can join Discord, Telegram, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.